Can we appreciate how cute he is when he's trying to explain something to us that someone had to explain to him 5 minutes ago?
He's like, all the airplanes will be grounded, but not the ones flying.
He saw that KFC bucket and was like, fuel up, Air Force One, we're going to Congress. Like, sir, it's only 8 blocks away.
You know what, you're right, we'll take the chopper.
The President of the United States is upset because he feels he should have more Twitter followers. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, what's next? Is he gonna complain to Instagram because his thirst traps aren't blowing up? Huh?
Trump's biggest weakness isn't his policies or his hair, it's his total inability to take a joke. Trevor Noah just exposed how the man who mocks everyone can't handle being the butt of the joke himself. Watch how Noah perfectly mimics Trump's repetitive speech patterns while explaining why a leader who can't laugh at himself is actually dangerous for democracy. Ever notice how Trump skips the White House Correspondents Dinner? There's a reason, and it's not because he's busy. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the videos. So now let's talk about how Trevor Noah absolutely nailed Trump's biggest weakness, the man's paper-thin ego.
A record number of people have left the White House, which even for Trump is pretty impressive, right? It's almost like he's leading the resistance by himself. Everyone out there is like, we gotta get these people out of office. And Trump is like, way ahead of you folks, resist! Trump didn't run on never releasing his taxes. In fact, if you remember, he specifically said, I will release them as soon as the audit is done. And of all of his tweets this weekend, our favorite was when he tweeted out, it's truly incredible that shows like Saturday Night Live, not funny / no talent, can spend all of their time knocking the same person, me, over and over.
Ever notice how Trump can mock everyone else, but throws a full-blown tantrum when someone jokes about him? It's like watching a schoolyard bully who can dish it out but bursts into tears when someone finally pushes back. Remember that time Trump mocked a disabled reporter by waving his arms around? Or when he called women fat pigs and dogs? How about all those childish nicknames he gives his opponents? Sleepy Joe, Crooked Hillary, Little Marco. Trump loves being the one who makes fun of others. He's basically that mean kid at school who thinks it's hilarious until someone finally gives him a taste of his own medicine. But oh boy, when the joke's on him, watch out. Trevor showed this clip of Trump at a rally saying, I can take a joke. I'm the best at taking jokes. Nobody takes jokes better than me, right before cutting to a montage of Trump's social media meltdowns. There was that 3 a.m. tweet storm after SNL did a skit about him, calling the show unfunny and totally biased and demanding equal time. Then that Truth Social rant where he called late-night hosts talentless lowlifes after they joked about his criminal charges. Grumpy Trumpy can't handle a little comedy. The funniest part is how different Trump is from other presidents who could actually laugh at themselves. Trevor showed this great clip of Obama at the White House Correspondents Dinner roasting himself about his gray hair and birth certificate conspiracy theories. Even George W. Bush had that hilarious bit with his own impersonator where they made fun of his mispronunciations. Heck, Nixon went on Laugh-In and said "sock it to me" while looking completely uncomfortable, but at least he showed up. But Donnie Diapers, he became the first president in decades to skip the White House Correspondents Dinner. Not once, not twice, but every single year of his presidency. Why? Because the orange turd is terrified of being the butt of jokes for one night. Trevor nailed it when he said, Trump skipping the Correspondents Dinner is like a swimmer avoiding water. It's the one thing all presidents have done, but he's too scared someone might say his tie is too long.
You know, now that I hear it again, we should have known that Trump was lying as soon as he said, I don't think I have the authority to do that. Since when has Trump ever questioned his own authority to do anything? Because you never hear this level of compassion from Trump about like Puerto Rico, yeah? When that happens, he's like, here's one paper towel, go long! But here, and when it's him, he's like, the Mueller investigation was a terrible thing. Classic relationship dilemma. Yeah. Trump was like, Kim, if I'm gonna open my trade to you, then we need to make this official. Kim was like, official? Why we gotta put labels on this, baby?
Then Trevor did this killer impression of Trump's repetitive speech patterns. I'm smart, very smart, the smartest, many people say it, very smart people, the best people. Noah explained that this kind of empty self-praise is exactly what you'd expect from someone so insecure they can't even handle a joke. When you can't laugh at yourself, Trevor said, you surround yourself with yes men who never tell you when your ideas are bad. No one in Trump's circle can say, maybe don't suggest injecting bleach during a pandemic without getting fired. And that's what makes this more than just funny. It's actually pretty serious. What does it say about a leader who can't handle a joke? Trevor laid it out. A man who flies into a rage because a comedian made fun of his hair is the same man with the nuclear codes. Think about that for a second. The most devastating part was when Trevor showed this split screen of Trump mocking the appearance of his critics next to Trump throwing a fit when anyone mentions his strange orange complexion or his weight. He's got the emotional maturity of a toddler, Trevor said, but instead of a tantrum in a grocery store, his tantrums could start wars. What made Noah's takedown so brilliant wasn't just that it was funny, it was that he exposed how Trump's inability to laugh at himself reveals something truly dangerous. A man so consumed by his own ego that he cannot separate criticism of his actions from attacks on his identity. Every joke becomes an emergency, every criticism a betrayal, and that's not just sad, it's scary for democracy. From thin-skinned narcissist to Saturday morning cartoon baddie, that's the journey Noah took viewers on when he declared Trump isn't just childish, he's cartoon villain predictable. And not just any cartoon villain, specifically those meddling kids' nemesis from Scooby-Doo. You know the type. Ridiculous disguise, over-the-top schemes, and that awkward moment when the mask gets pulled off and everyone acts shocked even though we all saw it coming. Noah pointed out that Trump has the exaggerated mannerisms, the theatrical threats, and the completely see-through schemes that somehow still work on half the country. It's like watching the same episode for the 100th time, but somehow millions of viewers still gasp at the reveal. The comedian didn't need fancy editing tricks to make his point. He just let Trump's own words and actions do the heavy lifting. The brilliance of Noah's comparison is how perfectly it captures Trump's predictability. Just like the Scooby-Doo baddies who would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those pesky kids, Trump follows the same playbook every single time. Make an outrageous claim, double down when challenged, blame everyone else when it falls apart, rinse and repeat. No writer's room could come up with a more consistent character. What's especially fascinating about Noah's analysis is how he breaks down Trump's formula. The deny attack victim pattern is Trump's version of, and I would have gotten away with it too. Noah showed clip after clip of Trump following this exact sequence. First pretending he didn't do something everyone clearly saw him do, then attacking whoever pointed it out, before finally playing the victim of some grand conspiracy. The audience howled with laughter, not just because it's funny, but because it's true. Even better was how Noah demonstrated that Trump's cartoon villain status extends to his personal relationships. He showed a montage of awkward moments between Donald and Melania, particularly focusing on those times she seemed to pull her hand away from his during public appearances. Noah called these relationship red flags being waved on the international stage. It's like watching a married couple in a sitcom who clearly can't stand each other but stay together for...
So please, guys, let's stop with this whole fake Melania business, all right? Because it's not true. Although I will say this, if you do zoom in on that picture, there is something a little suspicious, and that is that they're holding hands. Now, the reason I've been thinking about Melania lately is because in the wake of Trump's recent immigration crackdown, I've started to notice something that's got me really concerned. Who is this person that they're firing? Like they're running out of people we know to fire. This is like Walking Dead Season 6. Oh no, they killed Derek.
Reasons nobody can quite figure out. Noah also took aim at Fox News for their ability to ignore these painfully obvious moments. While showing clips of Melania avoiding Trump's hand, Noah mocked how Fox somehow misses these glaring red flags while simultaneously analyzing every facial expression between Democratic couples. It's selective blindness at its finest, the same way cartoon characters only see what the plot requires them to see. What makes the Scooby-Doo villain comparison so devastating is how it strips Trump of the very thing he craves most: respect and fear. Trump has spent decades crafting an image as a brilliant businessman, a master negotiator, a political chess player, thinking 10 moves ahead. Noah's comparison reduces him to a bumbling, predictable fool whose plans are transparent to everyone except his most devoted followers. It transforms Trump from Machiavellian mastermind to Old Man Jenkins in a monster math.
Come to me, my love. Let me sing forevermore. Hold your hand. Look at me, don't you understand? I'm crazy about you.
real genius of Noah's take is that it's impossible to unsee once he points it out. Every time Trump follows his predictable pattern, which is basically every time he speaks, viewers can't help but think of those Scooby-Doo villains. It's the comedy equivalent of putting cartoon sound effects over Trump's actions, and it's devastating because it sticks in your mind. You start seeing the formula everywhere. This comparison does more than just get laughs. It fundamentally changes how people perceive Trump's tactics. Instead of seeing calculated political strategy, viewers start recognizing the childish, repetitive patterns. The strongman image crumbles when people realize they're watching a cartoon character following a script. If Trump is just a Scooby-Doo villain, then his threats and bluster lose their power to intimidate. But the punchline gets darker when you remember this isn't just a cartoon, it's real life. Noah underscores that, while Trump's predictability makes him mockable, it doesn't make him harmless. A cartoon villain who somehow convinced millions of real people to follow him is actually quite dangerous. The schemes may be transparent, but they still work on enough of the population to cause real damage. As we wrap up, Trevor Noah's parting shot about humor might be his most important point. He reminded everyone that the ability to laugh at leaders without fear is what distinguishes democratic societies from authoritarian ones. Think about it. When a president can't handle a joke, how can they handle actual criticism? That's not just sad, it's scary. The freedom to mock our leaders isn't just for laughs, it's a safeguard against tyranny. Every time Trump rages against comedians, he's showing exactly why we need them. In a healthy democracy, the most powerful person should be the most mockable, not the most vengeful.